Leading out for the Wildcats, left fielder, number 12, Haley Ramirez.
Here, clear that, yeah.
Now batting, right fielder, number 6, Mary Grace Hess. Now batting, shortstop, 00, Riley Phillips.
When I was driving there, I was like, why have I decided to leave? And then as soon as I was eating, I was so happy. I could tell you only one thing that happened the rest of the night. It's not even a blow. It's just blow. This is a
Now batting, designated player, number 20, Riley Seymour.
don't remember leaving, don't remember walking back to my room, don't remember being in my room.
That's crazy, bro. All right, welcome back here on the Heart Conference Network. We are in the bottom of the first inning with number 14, Kalena Oots, leading off for the Eagles. Kalena gets a hold of that one and sends it over to the right fielder, who tricks that one down for out number 1. Now up to the plate is going to be number 1, Casey Jolly. Jolly in left field again for game 2. First pitch to Jolly. It's going to be a swinging strike. Another swing. Count now 0-2. Jolly gets a piece of that one, staying in the fight. The 0-2 pitch. She fouls that one off down the first base line. And she swings at that one, and ball was in the dirt, so the catcher throws down to first. Now batting is number 23, Elizabeth Palumbo, the Eagles' first baseman. Again for game 2. First pitch, ball. The 1-0 pitch. Called strike. That ball came in and ended on that inside corner, but came across the plate as a strike. Count 1-1. That ball high. 2 balls, 1 strike now here on Palumbo. Liz fouls that one off of her leg. Count now even 2-2 with 2 outs. Liz sends that one down middle infield, and the second baseman gets to it but doesn't get the throw over in time, but that'll be a hit there for Palumbo. Now batting is your second baseman, number 16, Madison White. First pitch to White. Ball outside. That ball in the dirt. Gonna advance Palumbo over to second. Palumbo now in scoring position for the Eagles. Count 2-0. That ball called strike. Floated right down into the strike zone. Thought it might have been high coming in though. That ball outside. Count 3-1. The 3-1 pitch here to White. Ball 4 for Madison White. Liz Palumbo on second.
Now batting, designated player number 6, Jolie Tiger.
So now batting is designated player number 6, Jolie Kreider. First pitch to Kreider is going to hit off her elbow guard. And that's going to load the bases here for the Eagles. In the bottom of the first, bringing up number 11, Maddie Roberts, the Eagles shortstop.
Now batting, shortstop number 11, Madison Roberts.
Eagles looking for a 2-out rally here in the bottom of the first. Beat Baker on the scoreboard once again. First pitch to Roberts called strike. Leo 1. Ball high. Count now even 1-1. Roberts tips that one backwards. Count now 1-2. The Eagles want to put the ball on the ground here, just get the ball in play. Roberts hits that one up the middle, but the Wildcats' second baseman picks it up and tags second for the third out. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 3 left on base for the Eagles. Going into the top of the second, due up for the Wildcats is going to be Bray, Ball, and Bell. We will be back here on the Hart Conference Network after a quick commercial break.
Bales takes the shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
Moving out the bases, second baseman number 14, Savannah Bray.
Leading off this inning for the Wildcats is going to be number 14, Savannah Bray. She grounds that one softly over to the second baseman, Madison White, who just picks that one up for out number 1.
Now batting, third baseman, number 25, Madeline Ball.
Yeah, I feel that. Shoot, me, that thing, if it gets sweaty though, and it get aggravated.
First pitch to ball,
Wait.
called strike. That ball high and outside. Count out even 1-1. That ball high. Count out even 2-2. That ball fouled back into the net. Count still even 2-2. Oh, maybe, maybe not.
He called strikes. I don't know. Just keep it outside.
Ooh, that ball lined right back at Haley Ferris, and it knocks her glove off, but she picks it up for out number 2. Coach Pat Reardon's going to come out to the mound and check on Ferris here, make sure she's okay after getting hit. Ferris looks like she's okay. She's waved him off, said she's going to stay in.
Now batting, catcher, number 23, Riley Bell.
Now up to the plate, number 23, Riley Bell. Bell sends that one out into left field for a ground ball for Casey Jolly. Putting the first runner on base for the Wildcats.
Now batting, first baseman, number 9, Ashley Jackman.
She said it to me.
Oh my god.
Now up to the plate is going to be number 9, Ashley Jackman. The Wildcats' first baseman this game. Count 0-2 on here. Now 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. And that is going to be 3 outs here in the top of the second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base for the Wildcats. Due up for the Eagles is going to be Hill, Albert, and Garland. Leading off in the bottom of the second is number 15, Lauren Hill. Yeah, she swung at it. Yeah, but she swung at it, so. That ball outside, count now even 1-1. Hill lines that one up the middle. Almost hit the Baker pitcher just like they hit Ferris, but just missed her. On the mound for Baker is number 16, Brianna Barczyk, a junior out of Lee Summit, Missouri. Now up to the plate is number 20, Michaela Albert. Albert, a sophomore from Tomball, Texas. The 0-1. She lays down a bunt. Looks to beat it out, but doesn't quite. But that is going to be a sacrifice bunt to move Lauren Hill over to second.
Third baseman number 9, Bailey Garland.
I was there. I was at TJ, so I just can't remember. I was so adamant, like, let's go out after.
Now up to the plate is number 9, Daly Garland, the Eagles' third baseman. First pitch to Garland. A little low and inside. The 1-0 pitch. It's a called strike. Count now even 1-1 with one out. And a runner on second. Lauren Hill out there on second in scoring position here for Garland. Another called strike there. That one looked a little bit high, but still. The 1-2 pitch. She fouls that one over towards the CMU dugout.
But then, like, the girl who's driving us, like, we're not going to stay out there for long, do you know what I mean?
The 1-2 pitch. Garland grounds that one over to third for out number 2, but it moves Lauren Hill to third base. Perfect opportunity here to put another run on the board. And the first one of the game, too. Now up to bat is number 14, Kalena Oots, the Eagles' leadoff hitter. The 0-1 pitch. Kalena grounds that one back to Barczyk for out number 3. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base to end the bottom of the second for the Eagles. Due up for the Wildcats is Schumann, Ramirez, and Hess. We'll be back here on the Heart Conference Network after a quick commercial break.
can't say nothing about us not showing up to class because they can't even show up to the game.
Leading off for the Wildcats, center fielder number 3, Bailey Schumann.
Leading off for the Wildcats is center fielder number 3, Bailey Schumann. Funny, but don't do that. Mm-hmm. Count 1-1. No outs here. Number 3, Bailey Schumann, is a senior out of Hillsboro, Missouri. She grounds that one over to Daly Garland at third for their first out of the inning. Uh-oh, my internet's out.
Now batting, left fielder number 12, Haley Ramirez.
Now batting is number 22, Haley Ramirez. She's wearing number 12 today, but in stats she's number 22. She's the Wildcats' left fielder. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is game 2, so we won first game 6-2. But yeah, Baker's pretty good. They were coming into the first game. They were 4-0, and we were also 4-0. But we took game 1. There's a strikeout there for Haley Ferris.
Now batting, right fielder number 6, Mary Grace Hess.
Now batting is the right fielder, number 6, Mary Grace Hess. She's a senior out of Burlington, Kansas. First pitch to her was outside. Count now 1-0. I know we played Baker in postseason last year for softball. Hess gets a hold of that one, sending it into the sky, but Roberts tracks it down right behind second base. Yep, 3 up, 3 down there for the Eagles. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base for the Wildcats. Due up for the Eagles is going to be Jolly, Palumbo, and White. Now up to the plate is number 1, Casey Jolly. She's facing number 16 on the mound, Brianna Barczyk, a junior from Lee Summit. I already talked about her a little bit, but first out of the inning is going to be a little grounder to the second baseman. But Barczyk is currently 4-1 in her pitching records. Now up to the plate is number 23, Liz Palumbo. Liz gets a hold of that one and lines it to right center, but it doesn't go all the way to the fence, so she only gets a single out of that one. Bringing up second baseman, number 16, Madison White. White walked her first at bat this game. Count 1-0. Called strike, now even 1-1 with one out on the board and a runner on first base. The 1-1 pitch. Ball low. 2-1 now. Called strike there on the outside corner. That ball outside now. 3-2. Full count here on Madison White. Three-two count. And she lines that one at the second baseman, who throws it over to second to get Liz. And they try to turn for a double play, but didn't quite get there. Head coach Pat Reardon's going to go out there and ask if she was on the bag when she caught the ball. And the call stands that Liz is going to be out at second. That brings up designated player number 6, Jolie Carter, to the plate with 2 outs and a runner on first base. Count now 1-1. I believe Carter fouled that first pitch off. The 1-1 pitch. Ball just a little high. Count now 2-1. Carter hits a hard line drive over to the second baseman, who lays out for that one and picks it up for out number 3. Give Baker the effort on that play. But no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base there for the Eagles. Due up for the Wildcats is going to be Phillips C.
No matter where you are in your educational journey, Central Methodist University is here for you. With CMU, you can learn on our beautiful campus in Fayette, Missouri, earn a degree completely online, or attend classes at one of our many statewide sites. Whichever path you choose, you will get a quality education that will prepare you for the future you envision. Select one of our programs of distinction in music, biology, or or nursing, or choose from more than 60 degree options offered at the undergraduate and graduate levels. And if you decide to join us on campus, you will be able to take advantage of all the university has to offer, including dozens of clubs and organizations, a robust student life, and top-notch NAIA athletics. Discover what makes us different and how a degree from CMU can prepare you for the future. Discover
Number 00, Riley Phillips. She gets a hold of the first pitch, sending it out of play. Count now 2-1. Ball high. Count now 3-1. Called strike on that inside corner, making the count now 3-2. Ball 4 there. It brings up number 20, Riley Seymour. A leadoff hit, not a leadoff hit, leadoff walk for the Wildcats. Now number 20 pops it over to the shortstop, Maddie Roberts, who throws it over to first but doesn't catch her.
Now batting, second baseman, number 14, Savannah Bray.
Now batting is the second baseman, number 14, Savannah Bray. First pitch to Bray. Ball high. Bray has a .423 batting average on the season. Hill throws over to first but doesn't quite catch Phillips off the bag. That ball low and inside. Count now 2-1. Bray gets a piece of that one, sending it sky high, and Liz Palumbo comes over to the mound to catch that one. So the Eagles are holding the Wildcats runner on first with 2 outs now. Bringing up in stats number 35, Madeline Ball, but today she's wearing number 25. First pitch to Ball. She lines it to center field, and Kalena tracks that one down. Out number 3. Okay, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base for the Wildcats. Due up for the Eagles is going to be Maddie Roberts, Lauren Hill, and then Michaela Albert.
number 11, Madison Roberts.
Leading off in the bottom of the fourth is your shortstop, number 11, Maddie Roberts. Roberts has a .390 batting average on the year with 77 at-bats. First pitch to Roberts in the turf. Roberts has had 7 doubles and 1 triple on the year. 15 RBIs. Count 2-0. The 2-0 pitch. Count now 2-1. That ball in the turf. 3-1 here on Roberts. Roberts has had 12 walks on the year so far with 5 strikeouts. Looking to add another walk to that. Being ahead 3-1 in the count. Roberts lines that one right past the first baseman and beats the throw from the right fielder. So a leadoff single here for Roberts in the bottom of the fourth. Now batting is your catcher, number 15, Lauren Hill. Hill has a .400 batting average on the year with 23 RBIs. First pitch to Hill. She lines that one at the third baseman. And the umpire calls that one out of play, even though she was in fair territory when she touched the ball. That is a debatable call there. She was still in fair territory, but knocked the ball out. I'm not sure that it would have bounced out if she hadn't have touched it. Hill lines that one back at the pitcher, and they have a 1-6-3 double play. By the Wildcats. Now batting is your right fielder, number 20, Michaela Albert. Albert, her sophomore. First pitch called strike. Hill was robbed of that play there, I feel like. Michaela pops that one up, and the second baseman lets it drop. I'm not so sure that was on purpose. Probably lost it in the sun there. Brings up number 9, Daly Garland, to the plate. Runner on first again for the Eagles with 2 outs now. Count 1-1 here. The Eagles with an opportunity for another 2-out rally. That ball in the turf. 2-1. Garland is a junior with a 203 batting average on the year with 44 at-bats. Garland gets a piece of that one and sends it out into center, but it is tracked down by the Wildcats' Bailey Schumann out there for out number 3. So, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base to end the bottom of the 4th for the Eagles. Due up for
Bales takes the shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
at the plate now for the Wildcats is number 23, Riley Bell, who sends that one high over the fence in right center for the Bakers' first run of the game. Now up to the plate is number 9, Ashley Jackman, the Wildcats' first baseman. Gets a piece of that one, sending it back into the net. The 0-1 pitch. And a swing and a miss. So 0-2 now here. Advantage to Haley Ferris on the mound. Ferris a senior this year with 8 game starts and 6 wins and 1 loss on the year. So 2.65 ERA. Lends the Eagles a strikeout there. Now batting is the Wildcats center fielder, number 3, Bailey Schumann. First pitch just outside. The 1-0. She fouls that one back into the net. Count even 1-1 with 1 out. Schumann shows bunt, but just a distraction for the pitcher there. Count now 2-1. She grounds that one over to first base. And Liz picks it up and tosses it to Madison White, but Umpire calls her safe anyway. And they're going to call her back to the plate. Okay, it looks like there's a debate going on over here by the umpires. I'm not really sure what they're going to end up calling it. They're going to bring her back to the plate, which makes us think that she made contact with the ball before she left the box. I am really not quite sure. He calls her out there. Did he call her out because she was out of the box? I don't know how to say that in stats. Yeah, there are 2 outs now. I'm going to have to call reinforcements on that one, which I've been asking Tim Crowley, but I think I'm going to have to call Rachel Moore, the sports information director. Okay, number 22 is now up at the plate. We're in number 12 today, Haley Ramirez. I'll go back and change that in stats there for Schumann if it is a different code rather than just a strikeout. I'm not sure since she was out of the box. Rachel says it is going to be a batter's interference, I believe. Nope, not valid. The beauty of multitasking again. And the Eagles record another strikeout to end the top of the 5th. Going into the bottom due up for the Eagles is going to be Oots, Jolly, and Palumbo to retire the inning. For the Wildcats, they had 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on base. That leadoff home run by Riley Bell put the Wildcats on the board before the Eagles. And they're leading 1-0 going into the bottom of the 5th. Leading off for the Eagles is center fielder number 14, Kalena Oots. Oots is batting .378 on the year with 90 at-bats. She's had 4 doubles and 2 triples, with 8 RBIs and 5 walks. First pitch to Oots. She is going to ground it right past the pitcher and the second baseman as they're playing way in. It's a great way to lead off the inning. Bringing up left fielder number 1, Casey Jolly. It's always tricky. They try and play further in on a slap hitter just to anticipate that bunt. But sometimes it's going to come back and get you where you don't want it. And Kalena advances there on a pass ball. The catcher caught the ball but stood up to throw it and dropped it behind her. And the Wildcats are going to call a quick timeout here on the mound. Count 1-0 here on Casey Jolly with Kalena on second. Jolly lays down a bunt, and the third baseman comes and picks it up, but that'll be a sacrifice bunt. To move Kalena over to third base. So she's in scoring position with 1 out and bringing up number 23, Elizabeth Palumbo, to the plate. Palumbo, 404 average on the year with 89 at-bats. First pitch in the turf there to Palumbo. Kalena was itching to run over there on third base. She'd taken a pretty big leadoff and thought about going, but I don't think that ball got far enough away from the catcher for it to be a secure run. Didn't want to take the risk. The 1-0 pitch. Ball low and outside. Count 2-0 now. The 2-0. That ball low and inside. 3-0. Palumbo has the advantage here over Barczyk on the mound. Palumbo gets to pick her pitch. And if she doesn't like it, she doesn't have to swing at it. That ball just a little high, but called for strike 1. Count 3-1. That ball low and inside for ball 4. The Eagles now have runners on the corners. Bringing up the second baseman, number 16, Madison White. First pitch to White is going to be just outside. Missed that outside edge of the plate. That pitch called strike. Floated right. Count 1-1. 1 out. That ball low and outside. Count now 2-1. For you CMU fans out there, the baseball team is in the top of the 8th, tied 10-10 with MNU. White lines that one over to the second baseman, and it looked like it bounced from up here, but they call it out. So a line drive to the second baseman and throws it over to first for a double play. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base to end the bottom of the 5th. Due up for the Wildcats is going to be Hess, Phillips, and Seymour. We'll be back here on the Heart Conference Network after a quick break. Up to the plate now for the Wildcats is number 6, Mary Grace Hess, the senior from Burlington, Kansas. Hess has a .395 average on the year with 76 at-bats. Count 0-2 on her. Ferris with the advantage. Hess sends that one over into the Wildcat bullpen. That ball just outside. Count now 1-2. Catcher Lauren Hill asked to see if she had offered on that play, but the field umpire said no, she did not. Count now even 2-2. And a strikeout there for Haley Ferris. That'll be her seventh on the day. Now up to the plate for the Wildcats is 0-0 Riley Phillips. First pitch to her was fouled backwards and a swinging strike there. So 0-2 now on Phillips. Phillips has a 364 average this year. That pitch a ball and count now 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. She lines it towards the third baseman, Daly Garland, but it goes out of play. Count still 1-2. Ferris with the advantage. Phillips will have to battle here. The 1-2 pitch. And a called strike there on Phillips, and that is going to be Haley Ferris's 8th of the day.
Designated player, number 20, Riley Seymour.
Ferris, a senior out of Camden, Missouri, has only been with CMU for, I believe, 2 years now. And that ball called foul, even though Garland reached out and grabbed it. Count 0-2 here on Riley Seymour, the Wildcats' designated player of this game. That pitch called a ball. Count now 1-2. Seymour came in and hit in the end of the first game. Fouls that one back into the net. Yeah, so prior to CMU, Haley Ferris attended Jefferson College. And last year, her junior year, she pitched 20 games with 16 starts and posted an 11-5 record with 10 complete games. Seymour lines a hard hit into the glove of Maddie Roberts for a quick little 6-3 for out number 3 of the top of the 6th. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base for the Wildcats. Due up for the Eagles is going to be Kreider, Roberts, and Hill. The Eagles looking to put a run on the board and keep this game going a little longer. Leading off for the Eagles is designated player number 6, Jolie Kreider. Kreider, a sophomore, with a 368 average on the year with 68 at-bats. She's had 6 doubles and 1 triple, and then 3 home runs. She's produced 22 RBIs on the year so far. Kreider lines that one down to the first baseman, who picks it up for 3 unassisted for the first out of the bottom of the sixth. Now batting is your shortstop, number 11, Maddie Roberts. First pitch to Roberts. That's going to be a called strike. Just snagged that inside corner of the plate. That ball low and outside. Count now even 1-1 with 1 out. Another ball low and outside there. Count 2-1. That pitch called a ball came right out of the strike zone in the inside corner. Count 3-1 here on Roberts. She passes that one up. Wasn't quite her pitch. Count now full, 3-2. Roberts turns around on that one and sends it to the first baseman. The Eagles are making the first baseman work a little bit this inning. 2 right back-to-back to her. She just had to pick up and step on the bag. Now up at the plate is our catcher, number 15, Lauren Hill. Hill gets a piece of that one and sends it sky high, but it doesn't get caught. That sun's right up in that prime position above the press box on the third base side, kind of. Makes it hard to see anything that goes up there if you're on the right side of the field. The 0-1 pitch to Hill. It's going to be a low and outside, count now even, 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. That ball in the turf, count now 2-1. Wasn't me, I swear. The 2-1 pitch here on Hill. It's going to be just below the strike zone. Count now 3-1. Hill gets to pick her pitch out here. Or maybe even draw a walk, depending on that ball outside. Ball 4. So a rally walk there. Bringing up number 20, Michaela Albert, to the plate with a runner on first base now. Eagles looking to put a run on the board with a two-out rally. First pitch to Albert. That ball's going to be outside. The 1-0 pitch. Ball low and inside, 2-0. Little baseball update. Looks like MNU is now leading 12-10 in the bottom of the 8th. That pitch to Albert, it's going to be a called strike. Caught that inside edge of the plate. Albert turns around on that one, sending it out of play over the Bakers' dugout. Count now even 2-2 with 2 outs. Albert looking to battle and win this at-bat here for this rally. Keep the Eagles in the game. Albert gets underneath that one and sends it up into center field, but it is caught by the Wildcats center fielder, Bailey Schumann, for out number 3 of the bottom of the 6th. Heading into the top of the 7th, due up for the Wildcats is going to be Bray, Ball, and Bell. To retire the 6th, the Eagles had no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We will be back here on the Hart Conference Network after a quick break. Here, no, do this one because that one's a 1-minute one. So.
Bales takes the shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
Leading off for Baker is going to be number 14, Savannah Bray, the Wildcats' second baseman. First pitch to Bray, she gets a piece of it and sends it into the sky, and Liz Palumbo catches that one, even though she was fighting with the sun there for a minute. Now batting is number 25, Madeline Ball. Ball, a freshman, has a .413 average on the year with 46 at-bats. That ball in the turf. Count now 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Ball high. Count now even 2-2. Looks like baseball ended the first game with a 12-10 loss to MNU. They'll start the next game in the next 30 to 40 minutes. Ferris adds another strikeout to her record this game. That is Ferris's 9th strikeout of the day. And number 23, Riley Bell, comes up and sends another one over the fence, this time over the left center side. Riley Bell there with a 358 average on the year and 67 at-bats. Before the game, she had 5 home runs on the year. She added another 2 this game, so that'll make it 7. Now up to the plate is going to be number 9, Ashley Jackman. Jackman fouls that first one off. Count 1-1. I must have missed the first pitch. Called strike there for count 1-2 now. The 1-2 pitch. That ball high and outside. Count out even 2-2. 2 outs on the board for the Wildcats. She gets a hold of that one and sends it into the sky above Maddie Roberts, who tracks that one down for out number 3. So 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on base for the Wildcats. Due up for the Eagles is going to be Garland, Oots, and Jolly. Going into the bottom of the 7th, the Wildcats have 2 runs on 4 hits and no errors. And the Eagles have no runs on 6 hits and no errors. The Eagles have been swinging the bats but haven't been able to secure any runs this game yet. Leading off for the Eagles is going to be your third baseman, number 9, Daly Garland. First pitch to Garland, she gets underneath it and it's sent into the sky behind second base, but the shortstop steps over and grabs that one. So now batting is center fielder number 14, Kalena Oots. Oots flew out her first at-bat this game and then grounded out in the second. In the 5th, she moved all the way over to third but was left on base after a line drive double play by by the Wildcats. Madison White hit into the double play. Oots lines that one over the second base. So now the Eagles have a runner on first with 1 out, bringing up number 1, Casey Jolly, to the plate. Jolly grounded out in the 3rd and then laid down a sacrifice bunt in the 5th to move Kalena over. First pitch to Jolly, a little low and inside. Jolly gets underneath that one and sends it over. And the center fielder tracks down, runs right into the fence. So Kalena does not get to advance to second. And that center fielder robbed Jolly of that hit. But that was a good play out there by number 3, Bailey Schumann. Schumann, a senior. I'm sure she's excited about that and wants to get revenge on. I know the Eagles beat them postseason last year at some point. Up to the plate now is number 23, Elizabeth Palumbo. Palumbo lines that one right past the second baseman, and they miss. It goes right under Schumann's glove out there in center, and it's going to be a double by Palumbo, and it's going to score Kalena. I think so. So Palumbo comes out of that at-bat with an RBI, and the Eagles are now on the board, still behind, but they have runners in scoring position on second. I believe that's pinch runner number 24, Cassidy Brent. Or at least that's what Tim Crowley said, so hopefully he's correct. Up to the plate now is going to be your second baseman, number 16, Madison White. In a tough position here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. The Eagles need to score another one to go another inning or score 2 to take the win. So puts a lot of pressure here on the batter in the box. Called strike there on that outside corner. Count now 1-1 here on White. 2 outs, a runner in scoring position. This is a perfect opportunity for the Eagles to at least tie it up and take it another inning. The 1-1 pitch. White gets a piece of it and sends it over the CMU dugout. Count now 1-2. Putting White behind in the count now. She's going to have to battle to stay in the box, get a hit or get a walk eventually. The 1-2 pitch. That ball in the turf. Count now even 2-2 with 2 outs. It's always tough to judge those balls in the dirt as the runner. You want to be jumping and on your toes, but you don't want to risk it too much. White lines that one over to the second baseman, and Madison White dives into into first to beat out that throw from the second baseman. And she is called safe. But Baker's head coach, Sam White, is going to go out and contest that call. If the call stands, the runners on the corners for the Eagles, bringing up number 6, Jolie Kreider, designated player of the day, to the plate. And the call stands here for the Eagles. Runners on the corners. 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th. Lots of pressure here on sophomore Jolie Kreider coming into the box. First pitch to Kreider is going to be a called strike. Went right across that inside edge of the plate. The 0-1 pitch. Ball in the turf. Count even 1-1. I'm not sure which pitch that is that Barczyk is throwing out there, but I'm not sure that it's worked very often. It's hit the turf quite a few times in the last inning or so anyways. That ball high and inside. Count now 2-1. Two-one pitch here to Kreider. Kreider gets a piece of it and sends it right into right center, and that is going to score your runner on third and potentially Madison White as well, and that is going to be a win for the Eagles here as they So a double there by Jolie Kreider to finish out the game and give the Eagles the second win over Baker today. Madison White barely beaten that throw from the outfield, but she gets right underneath it, and that is going to conclude Game 2 here at Cox Softball Complex with a final score of 3-2 for CMU. Let's give you a rundown of what happened. So 2 runs on 4 hits with no errors for the Wildcats and 3 runs on 10 hits with no errors for the Eagles. The Eagles are back in action against Missouri Baptist on April 1st at 2 and 4. It'll be at Missouri Baptist. The next home game for the Eagles is going to be against Missouri Valley on April 3rd at 3 and 5. So thanks again for tuning in here on the Hart Conference Network. This is Caitlin Streeter, your friendly neighborhood graduate assistant, sports information director. And we will see you next time here on the Hart Conference Network. So go over there and hit